Yellow.
Hey, Jimi Bones.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Is this Brian?
Yeah, it's Brian. Hey, what's going on, man?
How are you, buddy?
Really good, really good. Really excited about this interview. After doing some research on you and stuff like that, man, you have some career. You know, really cool.
One would think.
Yeah, definitely cool.
No, it's been cool, and I'm not stopping now.
Wow, you shouldn't, because you're doing a great job. You know, really.
Oh, thanks
really,
so much,
really,
buddy.
really cool.
It's great to meet you, by the way.
You too, man. You too. So let's start off with, I guess, the Vamps, or Vamp, you know, before Skin and Bones?
The Vamps, the original Vamps, back in Baltimore, yes.
Uh-huh. And when did you start, and was anything recorded back then?
We had some stuff, and I'm going to tell you about something we have coming up very soon about that, but I'm going to make you wait.
Cool. Yeah, that's okay.
The Vamps was early 80s. We put together the band, me, John, and Steve. You know, like an early, I wanted to be Motley Crue, and
right.
The rest of the band wanted to be Billy Idol, and I said, okay, I'll go with Billy Idol. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Love Steve Stevens. Billy Idol rocks. So we made it like a rock version of like the new wave stuff back in the day, you know?
Right, yeah. Wow. So after the Vamps, you went out to Skin and Bones, or that's basically the same band?
It was three of the members. John we ran our course for about 3 or 4 years, kind of like ran out of steam, and we were like, what are we going to do now? So John moved to New York, the singer.
Right.
And pay no attention to the, fire engines.
That's okay.
I live in New York City in the East Village.
Yeah.
So he moved to New York and tried to do a little pop thing with a couple guys. And then I came up with the idea of Skin and Bones. I was down in Baltimore still. I'm like, it's like, this has got to work. I came up with the name, blah, blah, blah. I wrote the song Cover Me With Roses. And I said, John, I got something, buddy.
Right.
So I said, I'm moving to New York, moved in with him. Steve followed us, put it together. We were signed in a year. It was kick-ass.
Wow. I mean, I must have listened to Cover Me With Roses even this morning when I posted on YouTube saying I was going to be talking to you. I must have listened to it 10 times. You know, I got the album, stuff like that. Was there alternative covers?
Alternative covers?
Yeah, because I saw 2 covers of the album. Maybe was it Japanese pressing and American pressing?
Oh, you mean album covers?
Right.
Yes. Well, the first one was, let me think, you're making me reach back here. But thank you for listening to it. It's still a cool song.
Oh, it's great.
I think it's a great song. That was the one I wrote, and I was like, dude, we got to do this. This is good. So as far as the covers of the album, we did the one in England,
right?
Which was the purple and green thing,
that's
which
the one I
wasn't
got.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's it. That was the release with Andy Taylor producing and Mike Frazier engineering.
Right.
Which it came out in England. It came out in, I think, Scandinavia.
Wow.
Once again, I can't remember. And Japan, which was good, but it was never released here.
Right.
So between me and you and all your listeners and your followers, we bootlegged it.
Wow. Cool. I mean, that's
bootlegged
great.
our own shit.
That's
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of the demos and stuff that we had done before I liked a little better.
Right.
We had done with my buddy Brian McGee.
Right.
But then again, there's another story. I got lots to tell you. So that came out. It wasn't released in America because it was like right on the fringe of like the end of Guns N' Roses kind of vibe.
Right.
Which was like, my favorite kind of music, Aerosmith, the sleazy rock and roll. And then the grunge came in, and they tried to get us to wear baggy clothes and sweaters on our album cover, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yep. Nope.
I was like, it's a new thing. It's like, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's music climate, and it changes, and it's not up to me.
Right.
So we were right on the cusp of that, but that was the first album cover. We redid it again, and it might be coming out again if I repackage it. I'm talking to some people with some early demos and interviews as well, but we'll see what happens.
It's pretty funny that everybody is looking for the old stuff now. Nobody
because it was good.
Yeah, no one really cares about the music. I mean, they care about the music of today, but like every time you get a collector, they want the old stuff. They want the stuff like.
Well, it was about when songwriting was songwriting. I mean, Green Day did a great job. I don't know if you like them. I think they're great.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, which I got to record in their studio, super cool guys, great songs. And there was like some cool bands that came out and kept doing it, but it got younger and younger and became more of a market, like a Disney market.
Right.
And, with pop stuff, which is cookie cutter, how much can we sell and who are we selling to? I mean,
right.
Children, like, I don't know if they buy music.
Right.
They download it.
Yeah. Yeah, that got to be a big problem.
But I noticed that every, concert that comes through of, us 80s guys, a lot of them are my friends, it's like it sells out.
Right, yeah.
Because people could play, and it was really good. It was cool music. Listening back, a lot of the stuff I thought was kind of cheesy. I'm like, hey, at least people wrote great songs.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like...
my buddies in Poison, I know these guys from way back. And, even the songs, I was like, oh, these knuckleheads, my buddy,
right.
Brad and, Ricky Rocket used to cut my hair and blah, blah, blah. But they wrote some decent songs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But even when them little festivals that come around and you got like Faster Pussycat, you got Pretty Boy Floyd, them places are always packed, Yeah,
because people still want to hear that fun stuff. It was done well, and it's a niche.
Right.
So, then again, what the hell do I know?
Well, you're doing good, I mean, you played with Kicks, right? How'd that work?
I played with Kicks for a while.
Right.
They're family.
Right.
Wow. I went and saw them recently. I talked to Ronnie the other day, and I went and saw them. Brought my wife to see them. She was like, "Wow, these guys are great."
Right.
And then Ronnie told me he's like, "Dude, come to the next show, and we'll bring you up on stage." I'm like, "Okay, if I can remember the song." So they brought me up, and I got to play a song. Me, him, and Brian, 3 guitar players on stage. Right. It was pretty dope.
Wow. Wow. But I mean, you play with Joan Jett, you play with Blondie, Enrique Englasis. So many people. Like when I was reading, Wikipedia and looking on YouTube for a couple hours and stuff like that, Midge Ure, and the list goes on.
Midge is God.
Yeah.
Midge is God. When I got to play with him, I was like, "This is too cool."
Right. Yeah. Back
really,
in the day,
really cool guy.
Ultravox was one of the top-notch bands around, so...
Yeah, it was great. It was an honor to play with him.
Wow. And how'd that work out with Hank Williams Jr. doing the Monday Night Football thing?
That's a whole other story.
Right.
I've been doing that since 95.
Right.
And, I played the guitar on it, met him once in a while, blah, blah, blah. And then I finally got to be in the video a couple of years ago.
Right.
Flew us down to Florida. We were hanging out. It was on every Monday night. I'm like, I'm in the video. Finally, people will believe that I'm actually playing this.
Right.
And then 4 weeks later, he opens his mouth, and it didn't go so well.
Right, yeah. Wow. Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it got pulled the 4th week. So
wow.
The music business, it's a heartbreak.
Yeah.
But what else are you going to do? Get a job? I don't think so.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, you even got, Haven Kids Rock something?
Wow, you've been doing your research.
Yes. Tell me a little bit
Very
about
cool.
that.
Yeah, that's me and my wife. We created a music program for foster kids about 9-10 years ago because, not only the rich kids get to learn rock.
Right.
And we started working at a great school in Mott Haven, the Bronx,
right.
Haven Academy. We started it. We were doing it for years. We did well with this, got the kids in commercials. We made them some money. And had them at the bitter end, Crash Mansion, the Yale Club. They did really well. So a year and a half ago, at the end of the year, we were like, how can we make this bigger?
Right.
And we decided to write our own off-Broadway show.
Wow. That's great, man.
So we're like, okay, let's do that.
Right. Yeah, I was watching some of the stuff on YouTube this morning. It was pretty cool, Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like, seeing the kids, it's like they're very enthusiastic.
Right.
And actually... Monday and Tuesday at the Barclays Center, they are playing with Roger Waters.
Wow.
Doing another Brick in the Wall.
Oh, shit. That's great.
So we're going to be backstage. I don't get to play, but the kids are actually singing the song with Roger Waters. I'm like, well, I'm really good at getting other people famous, except for myself.
Right, yeah. So what do you think your biggest accomplishment so far is?
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like making a living doing music and still enjoying what I do.
Uh-huh.
And I get to live in New York City. I have my own little studio. I'm sitting here right now and, passing on the music, and I still get to do this for a living. It's great.
Plus, you got the making of a guitar, right?
Yes, we have the guitar got made by my friend Pat Murray from AR-15, which leads to my new story. I'm going to tell you about this.
Okay.
He had a show, you know how they do the chopper shows and the motorcycle shows and all that, where they build a custom guitar? He wanted to do one for guitar.
Cool.
And I said, and he's like, can we build you a guitar? I'm like, yeah. So they built it out of the Marble Bar, the first punk rock bar in Baltimore.
Wow.
And we did a little show. I don't know if the show's done well.
Right.
But, it did, so they put it out there. It was a cool idea. And I have it sitting right here. It's very cool, very, very excellent guitar. Right,
yeah. And you could see that on YouTube, right?
I think you can see a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, but I mean the guitar itself, you're holding it up and talking about it.
Oh, yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. It's made out of a BC Rich style body. I was like, put it in the extra pickup. It's made out of the actual pieces of the Marble Bar from downtown Baltimore. Oh. It's very heavy.
Yeah, I bet you.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It's like, I'm like, I can't hold this thing up.
Wow. So what do you do in your spare time, if you have any?
Spare time? I don't know what that means. Spare time. Most of the time I sit in my studio, hang out in New York City.
Right.
We work with the kids. Pretty much that's it. Sometimes go to a nice restaurant around the city, which is cool when it's not raining.
Right, yeah. So tell me Tell me a little bit about your upbringing, when you were, say, from high school on. What did you do in high school? Did you play sports? Did you collect anything or anything like that?
No, I was a guitar player and an honor student.
Honor student, too? Wow.
I grew up the son of a Marine.
Wow. Well, you better be an honor
Dad
student.
was in the Marines, and, I had to have my shit together if I was allowed to play guitar.
Right, yeah. Wow.
It's like you do your homework and then you can play guitar.
Right, yeah.
And that worked, Books under one hand, guitar under the other. But it made for a good, strong, foundation where it's like, make sure you got your shit together and you can get things done.
Cool. Is there anybody that you want to play with that you haven't played with yet? Let me see, who to play with. I played with a lot of people. I mean, I'm getting to meet Roger Waters on Monday, which is very cool. All right.
I'd love to meet Jimmy Page. He's my hero, so.
Right, yeah. Wow.
It'll be very cool. And, I met Steven Tyler. I met a lot of the guys. To play with, I mean, depends who's going to pay me.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Are you working on any music projects at this time?
I'm working on a lot of stuff right now. We're coming out with our second year of the play with the kids.
Right.
Unstoppable, which is in May at the Sheen Center.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do 3 nights this year. Also got a call from my buddy Keith, who used to be in a band called the Ravens from the 80s.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah, I do.
They had the song Raised on the Radio.
Mm-hmm.
It was in an old movie.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm sure I'm a little older.
We're probably pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah. So he called me up, and we're putting together an 80s band called 1985 with original members from the Baltimore scene, from the Vamps, the Ravens, a band called the Sharks, AR-15, the singer who made the guitar for me, and a band called the Hooters. I'm sure you remember them.
Yes.
He's the drummer. So that's our new project starting next year.
Wow. Is there anything coming up in the near future besides the things that you mentioned that you like to talk about?
Yeah, I've been producing a couple people. I actually produced this girl, Molly Adele Brown.
Okay.
Who's moving to Nashville now. We did some country stuff. It's like modern-day country.
Right.
And she's moving to Nashville. She's got some stuff coming up. And I believe we have a song on the up-and-coming charts, probably in the 50s.
Right, yeah.
It's a song about drinking, which I can relate to. It's called Chug.
Oh, cool.
So that's doing well. Did some other stuff with some other young up-and-coming stars, but you have to check out my website.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is www.jimikbones.com.
That's cool. So tell me a little bit more about maybe something coming from Skin and Bones again.
We've been approached, or I've been approached, by a label that wants to put out some stuff. They want to re-release our record. I'm not sure I have the rights to that.
Right.
So I found a lot of old DATs and stuff. So I'm thinking of putting together a lot of the old demos, interviews, pictures, and stuff like that, and calling it Skin and Bones Resurrection.
Cool. Now,
and having that released.
Was Cover Me with Roses, I mean, it was well received, at least by me and millions of others. Was that a song that really people were drawn to, that really made the band
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one that made me move to New York.
I bet.
I was in Baltimore after the Vamps, and I was living with a really good friend of mine, and I was like, I got to do something here. You know, Guns N' Roses was coming out, Pastor Pussycat. I was like, this is the music of my people,
right? Yeah.
The Sleaze Rockers. So I was working on some stuff one day, and I wrote that song, and I was like, okay, I think I got something here.
Right.
And so I called John, who was living in New York, and I said, I'm coming up there. I got something. I got a name for a band. It's called Skin and Bones. And this song, Cover Me with Roses, I think is going to do something.
Right.
Came up, put it together. It seemed to work pretty well. And still to this day, it was like the biggest hit that didn't happen.
Wow. Did you get to tour different countries as Skin and Bones, or not really?
With Skin and Bones, we went to England and recorded our record.
Right, yeah.
But we didn't actually get to tour. It kind of fizzled before it got that big.
Wow.
Tragic story, you know, music business. What are you going to do?
I could just imagine.
But, you know, that song still comes back. You know, it still comes back, and I'm still really proud of it.
Wow. I could just imagine if you hit Japan with, you know, them times. And
well,
like
the album was released in Japan. We did okay there.
Right.
And when actually, here's a cool little story. I was working with this girl, Erin Evermore, produced by Mike Chapman, and we went to Japan.
Right.
And we're playing there, and I'm like, there's this guy in the middle of the audience, like, staring at me. I'm like, why is this guy staring at me? He's freaking me out. You know, he's like, like, looking me down. I'm like, what, is this guy going to kill me? Did I sleep with his girlfriend? I have no idea. And so I'm standing there, and we played, and I walk outside. He knew me from Skin and Bones and wanted my autograph.
Wow.
It was very cute.
I
was like, really? You people know who I am? One person? I'll take it.
Wow, that's amazing.
But it's from the Skin and Bones record, which was very cool. That made me happy that day.
Right, yeah. Wow. Did you ever sing lead vocals on anything?
I'm singing it now.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know, whenever I play the song out, because I can't find John. He's up in Cape Cod somewhere and can't find him. So I'm like, well, John, if you're not here, I'm going to have to sing the damn thing.
Cool. That's cool.
But I'm not a lead singer. I'm more of a background singer.
Right, yeah. Wow.
So I'd rather play guitar and let somebody else act the fool.
Wow. Is there anything I missed that you'd like to talk about?
Not that I can think of, unless it's up to you.
No,
it's your show, kid.
I'm cool. I'm gathering all the info, you know, and hopefully, you know, when you do release that Skin and Bones, I could help out with some, you know, promotion with it and stuff like that to help you out.
That would be great. Yeah, I'm still, you know, working on something like that, and, you know, got some other stuff going on in the future, but I will definitely, you know, hook you up with that, and thank you so much for giving a shit.
I do. You know, matter of fact, one of my friends just I says I'm going to be talking to Jimi Bones. He goes, how'd you find him? You know, like I said,
I've been here in New York City the whole time.
Yeah. It's great, man. Well, it's really good talking to you, Jimmy, and I really appreciate you giving me a little chat and let the fans get to hear a little bit about you and stuff like that. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Yes. Thanks so much for listening to real music, and we're still playing it. You still listen.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.